So today we're back with a new video for you guys, and this one is a little different than our usual fashion videos, but we have had some of our subscribers ask us a little bit about beauty products and hair products and things like that. So we thought it would be a good time to maybe do an Ulta favorites, because Ulta is definitely one of the stores that we both really enjoy shopping at, whether it's in store or online, and we definitely have some products that we consistently are using. So we decided to get together and make a list, and we would each pick our top 5 products that we purchased from Ulta and share them with all of you guys and see if maybe you might enjoy them as well.
And the hardest part was only picking 5.
Yes, that was really hard. From the arsenal of products.
We're like, are we sure we can't make it 20?
Yes, this video could be very long.
Exactly. And so for those of you who have been in the Mommy's Makeup Moscato family for a while, these are some products that you're going to have seen before, but we also have some new viewers who have come and joined us. So welcome. We're going to share with you some of our items that we actually really use on a daily basis. We had to actually find, I was so happy some of the products, like there was barely anything left inside, and so I was like, oh perfect, I actually have a backup one. That's how you know that you really love it, because you buy multiples of it, because you never want to risk, dare ever you know, running out of something that you actually use on a daily basis. So
yeah, I definitely, that's kind of how I was able to narrow it down, because you know I'm like a major makeup junkie, and yeah, it's pretty scary.
It's not scary.
That's how I narrowed it down, is that I looked for, my criteria was, 1, do I use the product every single day? Number 2 was, do I have backups of the same item? And the third one was, is it something that, you know, I maybe switch out on different days? You know, like for example, foundation. I own probably 5 different foundations, and you know, I just kind of wear them depending on where I'm going or how long I'm gonna be wearing it. But these 5 products, like, there are no alternatives. They're getting used every day.
Yeah, they're on our body every single day.
Yeah. So let's get started. All right, let's see. Product number 1. Probably I'm gonna go with this one, because I think if I was stranded on a deserted island, this would probably be the product that I would really want to have with me. Number 1, probably not a surprise if you've been watching our channel, Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. So this one is my favorite concealer. You could really use this as an entire foundation if you wanted to. It's just such a good product. It's very long lasting. It has good coverage. I actually get this swiped a lot from my bathroom from my teenagers, so I actually bought them their own. But this is a really good product. You can thin it out by using like a damp beauty sponge, or you can use it full coverage, but it's great for under the eyes. It's great for any like redness or age spots or anything. It just really like sets a good canvas for the rest of my makeup, and it's long wearing, and especially for me with oily skin, it's, you know, dry enough it's not creamy, because I really can't use creamy products. So Tarte Shape Tape Concealer is definitely my number 1 go-to.
Okay, so the first product I want to share with you guys is the Dry Bar Dry Shampoo. Okay, now I'm not sure how many of you guys use dry shampoo, but this is a product that you're going to use to be able to help absorb any sort of extra oil. So maybe you've gone a day too long and your hair is looking a little bit greasy, but you don't have time, you've got to run out the door. This is the product for you. I really like this product because it takes very, very little in order to go a long way. There are other dry shampoos that are on the market. However, I feel like you have to use a lot more of the product in order to try to even attempt to get the same results as far as absorption. The other thing is there's no sort of like strong smells or perfumes with it, as well as also one of the added benefits is it also adds some extra texture to your hair. So on days where I, you know, am curling my hair, I always, you know, throw in a little bit of extra dry shampoo in there just to help hold some of the curls. And it doesn't make it have like a sticky, tacky, you know, kind of feeling. And I particularly pick up the one that's Detox Brunettes, because one of the benefits of being 43 is I also have some grays in my hair. So I have not yet succumbed to, you know, dyeing all of my hair black. So I definitely have some stragglers in there. So I just, you know, spray a little bit of dry shampoo and it covers it really nicely, and I can go out and, you know, go about my day and not feel like I've got my age kind of showing through. You know, hopefully they think I'm 41.
No, that is good stuff. I used to use the much less expensive, you know, brand that I'd pick up at Walgreens or whatever. And then I tried, you know, the regular one that's for other hair colors, lighter hair colors, and I am totally hooked. Like, there is a huge difference. I mean, the texture that it gives, and I've actually sold that to a lot of people. Like, I've told a lot of friends, and they've all tried it and thought the same thing.
If you want to remain my friend, this one, this is the product for you.
And that's for the people like me who try to like push the blow dry like a week. It works. And the next product I picked is a tool that honestly could not live without. Definitely was a game changer for me as far as applying foundation, concealer, goes hand in hand with my first one, and that is the Beauty Blender. So mine has been really loved and used regularly, so it's a little bit dirty, but comes like this in these little containers. And the Beauty Blender is just a makeup sponge that you run it under the sink, get it nice and wet, squeeze it out till it's damp, and it's great for just pushing concealer and foundation right into the skin. It's also great for kind of thinning out a foundation if you like a lighter look. You know, there are tons of beauty sponges out there, and I have definitely tried a bunch of the cheaper ones that I've heard other people recommend, and I gotta say I have not found any of them that even compare to the Beauty Blender. Like, it's a little bit pricier. I want to say these typically are around $20, but well worth the price. Absolutely. You know, and you wash it just with bar soap. You rub it up against the bar soap under your sink, and you know, you can use them for quite a while, but it's just such a good makeup sponge that it's worth the extra money. I have not found any of the cheaper ones to even hold a candle to the Beauty Blender, so that's why it's my second favorite.
Yeah, and I think that for me, they're the most helpful for like under the eye area, because you can, you know, certain products you can use like your fingers to be able to spread out the product, but sometimes it can cause too much creasing if you're using too much product. So the Beauty Blender is the perfect tool to be able to use to just add on a very light layer but have perfect coverage underneath.
Absolutely.
So I really love it. I agree.
I feel like it just pushes into the pores too.
Yes.
To kind of really like, you know, otherwise the makeup can sometimes lay on top of the skin, and it just kind of works it in there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and also
really
in the
like
nose.
it. Yes, yes.
Here.
Very good products.
Yes.
If you haven't tried the Beauty Blender, I highly recommend.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely. Get 10 of them.
Yes.
You're gonna
yeah, this is definitely something that I have several backups.
So one of my absolute favorite products is the Dermalogica Multivitamin Thermofoliant. And I can tell you this because I have been using it since 2008. I went to a spa and I was getting a facial done, and she used this product on my face, and I could just smell and the texture of it. Oh my gosh, it was just amazing. So I've been using it ever since. Now, one of the great things about this exfoliant versus other ones is I'm super picky. I am an exfoliant like nut. I really am. So she's really into makeup. I like exfoliate my face and my whole body like 100 times a day pretty much, you know? So when I'm looking for a facial exfoliant, I'm so particular with the type of granules that they have. So sometimes you can find that they're beaded, but they're not too much. The beads might be too big. This one has like the perfect consistency with the granulars, and it's not so abrasive and harsh that you ever feel like you're damaging your skin. Now this one you cannot use every single day. You actually have to use it every other day, but it has some really great stuff in it, like lactic acid, salicylic acid, and retinol inside of it. So if you're looking for maybe kind of a more mild exfoliant, you just put a little bit of water with it. Now, if you need something that's a little bit more intense, you can actually put it on dry and exfoliate your face and then rinse it off. So, and it has such a great smell. It has almost like this citrusy spa scent to it. So
yeah, it is the best. That's another one that we both use, and I even use it. I have the girls use it like when we do facials, and you know, even for younger skin, it seems to be delicate enough, but so good. I'm the same way, really picky with the granules, because if they're too big, like those beads, they really don't do anything.
They don't.
But this is just right. It's like if you had finely, you know, like little sand or salt that was, you know,
but
fine
softer,
grain.
right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like, it honestly really is the perfect consistency.
And you can feel it heat up a little bit.
Yes.
I guess that's the thermal part.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how they do that. It's
I
like
don't know
little
either.
magic crystals.
Yeah, exactly. When we first had met too, we started kind of talking about different makeup products that we loved, and I kept saying to her, you've got to try this Dermalogical Thermofoliant. You've got to try it. She's like, oh yeah, I know, but I've got this one. I'm like, you got to try the Thermofoliant. exfoliant.
It is really
You don't
good.
understand, it's so good because I feel like often, especially for the amount of makeup that I wear, sometimes you can have clogged pores, and this is something that you can use that's so gentle on your skin but works. It really helps to lift off those dead skin layers. So
yeah, definitely a good,
good one.
Now for my next product, it is a makeup product again, and I have, you know, just drawers and drawers full of products. I definitely love to go into Ulta and just shop for makeup, and I'm very tempted by new palettes and new colors. But interestingly enough, even though I have an entire drawer that's dedicated to blushes, I basically find myself picking up the same blush day after day after day. And it's just because it's such a perfect color and it goes with every eye look, and it's a perfect product in general. So this is the Becca Mineral Blush, and the color that I'm obsessed with is called Flower Child, and it's one of those peachy pink colors, which of course, you know, is a color that really is so good. I'm gonna close up on that. So good on all skin tones, skin shades. It's a really beautiful color. And the thing that I love about this one and what really sets it apart is, first of all, it lasts really long. It's a mineral blush. It has, you know, a good amount of color to it, but also it isn't flat, but it also isn't really sparkly, which I feel like is always what's really tough with blushes, because I know, you know, when you get a little bit older and you have textured skin, you know, a lot of people say you should go with like a more matte blush or something. For me, whenever I put on a matte blush, it just doesn't look good on my skin. It makes it look a little dull. It makes me look really dull, and my skin just doesn't look very pretty. And then I have to go back and like add some things just to brighten my face up. And then if I use something that maybe is more for the younger crowd and it's very sparkly and there's chunks of glitter in it, then it just shows all of my enlarged pores, and it's no good. So this one I feel like is perfect because it's got a little bit of, you know, sparkle to it, but not glitter, not shimmer, none of that. It just makes you look alive, makes your skin look more glowing, and it's such a beautiful color. So definitely, this is really the only blush I should have in the blush drawer, but
really
I can't. Can I just tell you with the other blushes?
Oh my gosh, she has got this huge makeup container. It is honestly like a kid in a candy store, and she'll go and she'll buy. She goes, oh, I've got this great new blush, and I'll be like, oh really? Okay, so you're using? Oh, that's great. And then I'll talk to her a couple of weeks later, and she'll like, yeah, I'm back to Becca.
So true.
I don't know. I'm just finding that with this season, you know, or I don't know, my skin is just not doing as well, so I'm back to Becca now. And then she'll go on and she'll be like, oh, and this is a great one. Yeah, I'm back to Becca now.
They always look so pretty in the container. Yeah. And some of the other ones, they're nice, but it's just they don't compare.
And this is a really good classic color.
It is.
You know, I feel like there's trends for maybe ones that have, you know, certain more, maybe the peachier tones or the redder tones, or, you know, the more like a bronzer, but this one is like such a nice color on all skin tones. So
those peachy pinks, they really can work with anything. So if you're wearing a neutral eye, peachy pink. If you're wearing a smoky eye, peachy pink. I think that's what makes them so appealing to everyone. So definitely check out Flower Child by Becca.
Yeah,
great blush.
I'm gonna tell you right now, your husband's gonna be super happy because I've just saved you guys like hundreds of dollars in blush products. Because now he's gonna say, babe, you don't have to buy any more blush ever again because you're just gonna buy. Here, honey, I got you 10 Becca blushes
of the same color, because I have about 4 or 5 colors and they're all good.
Yeah.
But this color is specifically the best. So yeah, it's an addiction. Like I wonder if they have like a group that you can go to for makeup addiction.
So the next product that I'm going to be showing you guys is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correctors. So I don't know if you guys know what color correctors are. I've definitely talked about them in some of our other videos. This is basically a product that you use to cancel out, you know, imperfections within your skin. So it might be blemishes, it might be yellow tones. For me, it is under eye dark circles. I have got major problems with my under eyes, and this is not something that I'm allergic to or that I have, you know, gotten worse as I've gotten older. Unfortunately, I have had really dark under eye circles since I was born. Thanks, Dad. It's hereditary. So this is not a concealer. This is a product that you're actually going to put on underneath your concealer, and it's a very like thin, I would say like the consistency almost of like a lotion. So you can actually just put it underneath your eye with your fingertip. It's not sticky or thick. And the great thing about this is that it starts to cancel out any sort of like dark purple hues that I have underneath my eyes right away. So when I am using my concealer, I'm able to use a lot less product. So anyone who has under eye dark circles, you know that one of the major problems that you're gonna have is a lot of cakiness underneath your eye when you're using a lot of product. And then you have to set it with powder. So now you've got even more cakiness, and then you've got the creasing and all the lines, and it just, you know, makes you start looking like you're 73 when you're only 43. So this is one of the products, when I found it, I absolutely loved, because it helps me to use a lot less product. It also evens out all of the concealer that I do use with my eyes. So really love the color correctors, and I actually have two colors here. This one is peach, and this one, believe it or not, is dark peach. So obviously if you are light to medium skin tone, this is gonna be the color for you, and if you are darker skin tone, then you're gonna wanna go for this darker peach color. So it's like a
very
I know you don't. She doesn't have that.
I don't have that problem. I have a host of other problems.
But if you've got dark under eye circles and you've been battling them, I'm telling you, like, pick up a color corrector. If you, for whatever reason, don't like it, that's the great thing about Ulta. You can just go and return it.
That's
even
true.
After you've used the product. You don't have to worry that once you've opened it up that you now have an entire, you know, bottle of something that you're not going to use. You can just return it. But I promise you, this will really, really help with under eye circles. So
that is a good little trick. I've heard of the green ones for the redness, and I think they make a green one as well.
Yes. Yeah, they've got yellow, green, purple. They've got
good one.
pinks for all sorts of issues. But for mine, my main one is this, because other than that, it's just so much powdering and everything that goes on, and then I find that it's extremely heavy. And even when we're filming, I'm wearing a lot more makeup than I usually do in real life. So on a regular, typical day, I'm still gonna use the color corrector, because then I'll just, you know, put a lighter concealer and foundation underneath my eye that's different than the one that I'm using right now.
Oh, that's a great trick. It reminds me of a funny story. I remember when I was really young, you know how you used to have to go to like these portrait places, right, to take these fancy like family photos. So we went, and you know, it wasn't digital and all this stuff. It was these really professional family photos, and they would like hand touch up things, like I guess with almost like paints or something, to make these beautiful big portraits. And we go to pick up the photo, and my poor dad, they had taken his eye bags and they had like caked on the paint to cover them. And we look at the picture, and he's not even recognizable, because they've tried to just like get rid of the bags. And my mom's like, we like him the way he is. Like, what did you do to my husband, you know? So they had to like redo the whole picture. But it reminds me of that, because you know, if you're trying to either get rid of like a bag or a discoloration, if you pack on too much of the concealer, you get that like, it makes your eyes look smaller, and everything is just like caked on and cracked.
It all settles into like your little fine lines, you know, like even my daughter who's 14, you know, they'll have like the tiniest little lines. Well, if you put on too much makeup in that area, it just accentuates it so much more. So obviously I'm not 14, so I've got to use as little product as I can underneath my eyes, so that way I don't age myself.
No, that's a good trick.
Okay,
so for my next item, this is also another item that I only need this one shade. I don't need any other shades. I maybe have one or two in the drawer, but they're really not getting used. But this is the only one that really gets used, and this is my eyeliner. It's MAC Eye Kohl, and this is in the color Costa Riche. And this is one of those products that I literally have 3 to 4 of them at any given time, because I'll throw it in my purse and then I can't find it, and you know, so I have to have a lot of them. But it's the most beautiful brown shade, but it has like a little bit of like a reddish brown undertone, which works really well for, I don't know if you can see that, but works really well for anyone who has hazel or green eyes. I think it would actually be beautiful too with blue or brown eyes as well. But if you have, you know, hazel or green eyes, that little bit of like reddish that comes through the brown definitely like enhances the green a little bit. So if I use like a dark chocolate brown, it can be a bit harsh on me with my light coloring and everything, and I definitely avoid black underneath my eyes, because that definitely ages me a bit. So besides this one, you know, I might use like a purpley plum color, but this is my everyday go-to. It's dark enough even for nighttime and to use, you know, to line the top of my eye. It's great for lining underneath. It's even good for the waterline. It's very long lasting. And I usually just use this and then smudge it out with a little bit of like a matching shade of eyeshadow to set it. And I love this product. This is for sure, you know, the only eyeliner that I ever need.
Yeah, no, MACs are great products too, because if you get maybe an eyeliner that's a little bit cheaper, maybe not the same quality, you'll find that it has a little bit of like a chalky kind of consistency. It's not gonna go on as smoothly, and you're gonna have to keep on kind of tugging and pulling, and that's the last thing you wanna do right around your eye area. And it really smudges, you know, very easily. So the least amount of pressure that you can put in, you know, your eye area is super key, because obviously any of that you're going to start adding, you know, little breaking of vessels. You're going to also cause tugging, which will create, you know, lines. So it's worth investing in a, you know, a better, higher quality.
And they really do last. I mean, I prefer the ones that are traditional pencils too, that you just sharpen with your eyeliner sharpener. But yeah, it's really good. It's not something that I find like smudging all down my eyes and everything. Like I said, I just set it with a little matching shadow, and it's a great eyeliner. So highly recommend the MAC Eye Kohl's, and this color, Costa Riche, is hands down my favorite.
I agree. And the brown also is another one.
Yeah, I mean, they're all really good. It's just, I think if you're looking for something that maybe is like not a super dark brown shade, give this one a try, because it's not light. I can't do light brown either, because then the problem with the really light pale brown is that it doesn't give any definition. So this is kind of like that medium brown tone.
And I think that, as I'm not sure, let us know in the comments below whether you guys are also experiencing this, but we both have gone from maybe in our younger years using black eyeliner to now more of a brown eyeliner, just because I feel like when I'm using black, even though I have much darker skin than she does, you know, it's aging me. It's aging me, and I feel like the brown is just a softer look, and it helps to keep me looking at least a little bit more youthful.
Yeah,
you know?
same thing here.
So
and I'm gonna hold on to everything I can. Hold on.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so for my next products that I wanted to show you guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about primers. So if you guys don't know what primers are, they are basically that first layer that you're gonna put on your face to make your makeup stick to it, you know? Kind of like you prime your walls before you paint, you wanna prime your face before you put some makeup on it. So these are the two products that I use and I really, really love, but I use them for different reasons and also different times of the season. So one of the great things about my skin is it's completely traditional T-zone combination. So I love it. I get dry skin, I get oily skin. So that's why I've also got two products. So let me actually first talk about this one. This is the NARS Radiance Primer. So this is a product that I will use during the winter months. When I have a lot more dry skin. So it's a very sheer sheen kind of finish. It's not thick, it's not tacky. It goes on really smoothly. You can actually just easily apply it with your fingers. And there's no like smell or like any sort of greasy feeling at all to it. And then this one is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. Wow, that's a long one. Okay, so this one is one that I'll use during the summer months. So I'll actually put it, you know, all over my face. Now it has a little bit more of a thicker consistency, but it helps to really like control the oil. It doesn't have any sort of like greasy feeling or make my skin feel like it's got, you know, like a thick layer of anything on. However, this one I will use on my forehead all year round. Even when I'm using this one on the rest of my face, I'll use this one on my forehead, and the reason why is because I actually feel like it helps to blur, you know, the lines that I have on my forehead, and it kind of, you know, like doesn't settle in and fill it in. I know that they have some products that do that, but I feel like it just kind of helps to fill in any of those fine lines, or for me, I've got like a nice little like crease right across my forehead. Can you guys see that? Let me get a close-up of it. So this is actually one of the products that I'll use, and it has more of a matte finish, where this one is more of a kind of a shiny sheer type of finish to it. So, but neither of them have, you know, sometimes when you have makeup on, it has almost like that balling effect, you know? Neither one of them do that. So.
Oh, that's good.
So, and sometimes that can happen when you're wearing something that has like oil, you know, it's trying to control your oil. So that's a good one. So that's it.
So for my last product, this is one I have been using for decades. I feel like it at least. I think it's been at least 2 decades, maybe 3. This is the Sebastian Shaper Plus Hairspray, and whenever I go into Ulta, they typically will have great sales on this where you can get it for around $10 or so. I think it's really about $19, but there's always great deals where you can pick up, you know, 2 BOGOs and things like that. And it's such a good product. All the girls in our household use it. Curly hair, straight hair. It gives you just enough hold, but keeps the hair really, really soft and shiny. None of that like stiff or crunchy hair. There's no flaking whatsoever. And I don't really know why it's like a magical formula, but I have tried so many different hairsprays and I always come back to this one. You know, this is just the best hairspray that I've ever found on the market. It's a classic and it's for a reason. It's really good. So really good product, worth, you know, spending a little bit extra. You can actually sometimes pick it up at like Walgreens and stuff, but Ulta is the place that I feel has the best deals, and they typically have those good like BOGOs and stuff. So I get it there, and it's just so good. It keeps the hair feeling, you know, nice and healthy and soft, but does the job.
Yeah, one day right before we were actually filming, I needed a little bit of hairspray because of course my bangs were acting up, you know. I was about to cut them right here, you know, when I was here, and she's like, oh, just use a little bit of my hairspray. And as soon as I used it, I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because a lot of times when you use hairspray, it has like a very sticky, stiff kind of feel to it, especially when you need to hold bangs in place in the right spot. And this one is super light, but it has like a strong hold to it. So I agree. It's I actually have, it's kind of funny too, because I'm the kind of person where I can't just throw something away. So I'm trying to use up the last of my hairspray so that I can actually really use like the good quality hairspray. So I'm like really trying to get the
poor son. You're like shellacking his hair.
I'm like,
Mom, I don't want my hair.
You just need to put it a little bit.
Yeah, I'm the person who has like the 500 blushes that aren't getting used, and you're like using it to pan.
Right.
Christina, let it go.
I can't. It's like a half bottle. I'm like, I'll just finish it.
The dog's getting its hair.
No, it's so sad. I should just give it to my daughter.
Really, you should. That's what you do when the products are not great. You just go, here, honey. They're young. They don't know the difference between the good stuff and the not so good stuff.
She's not watching this show. She doesn't see. Okay, and so for my last product, I am telling you guys about is the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. Long lasting. So this is another product. I'm sorry if I keep telling you guys about stuff that you guys already know about, but once you've spent all of this precious time putting your makeup on your face, this is a product that you want to go ahead. You just shake a little bit up and spritz a little bit on your face, and it will help to keep your makeup last longer. So especially for us, we live down here in Florida, you know, we have, you know, our own oily skin not to compete with, as well as also the weather. So we have got sweating aspects and all that kind of stuff. So it's really super frustrating to spend time putting makeup on and then to go outside to shoot videos for you guys and then have your makeup just like falling off of your face. So this is a perfect product to use. And so also, believe it or not, even when you're spritzing it on, it actually helps to keep your face looking matte longer, which I think that's kind of funny. I really feel like if you're putting like a liquid on your face, how does it help keep it matte? But it really does, you know. I notice that when I don't use it, I'll get a lot of like oiling in here, like my makeup starts to kind of fall apart underneath like my eyes. Some people I know, they also have, you know, laugh lines, you know, or smile lines, and they get some sort of like creasing inside of there. This also helps to, you know, do that. And even though like, I think Kelly had once referred to it as like the hairspray for your face, you know, it doesn't leave any sort of like sticky, tacky kind of like feeling. It feels very light. You can't tell, like once you put it on, you just kind of, you know, let it dry and you don't feel like you're frozen in one spot. You literally like, you know, stops time. Sorry, there was like a little piece of lint flying in the air. Stop time, and then can feel like this, you know, extra like sticky texture like that's on your skin. So I think there was one other thing that I wanted to say too about it was, oh yeah, is that it also doesn't settle into any of your fine lines as well. So I feel like, you know, I'm not only fighting, you know, like the occasional blemishes, but also, you know, all the little glorious little travel lines that are, you know, appearing on my face. So anything that's, you know, helping me to, you know, blur those lines or to, you know, or to not settle into those lines, those are the products that I'm going to be using.
No, I love this stuff. I've been using it for years and years, and they actually have an oily skin one, but I prefer this one. I think that it works for all skin types. And I don't know if you've seen this, like on me, sometimes I'll put on my makeup and, you know, I always have to powder and stuff because I'm very oily. So I'll do the powdering and everything, and I'll look a little bit like too matte. And then when I spray that on, it's like it hydrates too.
It does.
And I don't get oily and I don't feel like my skin is wet, but it almost like just kind of like sets everything and hydrates everything a little bit. So I think it also makes it look prettier.
Yeah, it makes it look more natural.
It does.
Because if you have an overly matte face, it makes you look like you're wearing a lot of makeup.
Yes,
so.
I really like what it does for the skin. I honestly like don't feel like I'm done with my makeup until I've done, you know, and I notice if I forget, I can feel it. Like I really, that step is crucial for me. So, and I'm so oily that I really need that setting. So yeah, if you want to set your makeup or if you have any kind of oil issues, that is the best product.
Yeah. Because even with your oily skin and my, you know, combination skin, we have the breakdown in very similar areas, you know, of our face, you know, underneath here, it starts to settle.
Right around here, it gets oily, so yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna take the time to put on, even when it's like a regular day and I'm just running out and I'm kind of doing a barely makeup kind of day, I still just spritz it on because I don't feel it on my face, and I know it's kind of just helping to keep everything in place and not let it slide. It helps, you know, the eyeliner not to slide, the mascara not to slide. It just kind of keeps, and especially for me, I've got, you know, almond shaped eyes, so sometimes I can also have some like creasing that goes on in my eyelids, and so I just close my eyes and it tends to keep the eyeshadow in place a lot longer.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I think we gave them like our whole treasure chest of amazing products.
I thank God we didn't do 20.
I know, right? We talked enough about 10. So hopefully you guys found everything useful and helpful, and maybe some of these products will work for you. Definitely check them out. We're gonna link everything below for you so you can order them right from Ulta and get them delivered straight to your house. And also that helps out our channel so we can keep making lots of great content for you guys.
Yeah, and if you guys definitely, if you like our channel, definitely for sure give us a thumbs up. It not only helps to support our channel, but it also lets YouTube know that you guys are interested in, you know, beauty and fashion for, you know, women in our, you know, 30s and 40s, 50s, you know, who kind of are underrepresented on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So, you know, if you haven't already, definitely subscribe. We come out with new videos every Monday night at 10 p.m. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at Mommy's Makeup and Moscato. So until then,
see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.